Before we get into anything, I have to explain myself. I actually don't like boba. I know how that sounds, but just hear me out. So when most people hear boba, they usually imagine the traditional brown milk tea with like brown black balls at the bottom. But I personally just don't like the taste or texture of it, you know? Like, given the option at a boba store, I'd most likely go for a crystal boba. That or lychee jelly. Alright, so now that I've got that off my chest, I can move on to the focus of this video, which is work. So I'm a humble employee at a boba store, and for the most part, I don't have any issues with work. If anything, I've got a lot to say in terms of gossip, but I want to keep being employed there for the time being. So less chisme and a lot of me complaining. So when I first started working there, I severely underestimated how much work goes into memorizing the menu, and what should have taken me a couple weeks to learn ended up taking me nearly a month and a half. It's not even like the menu at my store is crazy or anything. It's just I really didn't care about work. It was my second job at the time, and I just didn't care to really learn the drinks and all that. It really backfired on me. So I only bring it up because there's this awkward gap in time where I just consistently make mistakes every shift. And so most of the time I'd usually just make a drink and then forget a key ingredient like hours later. And in the grand scheme of things, that's not good. So anyways, I only bring this up because one of my most iconic mistakes that happened actually happened on a shift with my close friend and boss. And so we had two ladies come in and order a passion fruit mango green tea. And then a little bit later, another lady had came in and ordered the same thing. So I made their drinks and I sent them out. And usually at my store, if there's extra tea at the bottom, we just drink the leftovers, you know, because waste not, want not. And so my friend went ahead and drank some, and she pulled me over and she was like, "This tastes funny. Did you forget something?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know." So I took a sip, and so I took a sip, and turns out I forgot the passion fruit syrup. So for my non-boba baristas, if you don't know what that means, I essentially just gave out three sugar green teas with just mango juice in there, you know? And that's not good. So I immediately break out into a sprint and I run out the store and I'm searching for these ladies, you know? And I end up catching the third lady in her car, literally hand on steering wheel, and I knock on her door. I knock on her window. It's awkward. And I'm like, "Hey, I completely forgot your passion fruit, you know?" And she was very sweet about it. Go in, we add the syrup. It's okay. I perfectly fixed it. But them two ladies ahead of her, oh, I know they were disappointed with their drink. Those ladies were gone like the wind. There's no way. I ran up and down that parking lot and I couldn't find them. And oh, I'm so sorry I couldn't provide better service to them, you know. Whoopsie. So I come back into the store, you know, walk of shame and all. And, you know, my boss is standing there and she's just giving me that look in her eyes, you know, the look a parent makes when their daughter or son makes a mistake they know they shouldn't have, you know. And she beat the fuck out of me and she buried me alive. And you're actually hearing a recording of a ghost actually. So I was working the grand opening of our sister location. And for those who don't know, the store I work at is a franchise. So there are people above us, you know, people above my boss. And I don't know how that works logistically. But these people have power, okay? And with how the world works, power corrupts people, you know? These people could fire me, you know? So, it's like, not a lot of anxiety. I mean, at this point in time, I'm scratching my head. I mean, at this point in my Bobarista career, I'm pretty well experienced. I make very little to any mistakes, you know? I mean, I make no mistakes at all at this point. But it's just, these are top dogs, you know? I've never worked with corporate like this, you know? I'm just so used to them coming in, watch me make drinks, try a couple drinks, and then leaving. But this is different. They're watching how I work. But that's besides the point. So grand opening, we have a long line out the door. It's buy one get one free, so people are taking advantage of it. We're swamped with drinks. There's just cups piling up. There's just a bunch of kids running around. It's a mess, you know. So we received an order of the dragon fruit lychee juice, and I went ahead and made them, you know. Not to make any excuses, but we did have a long line out the door and a bunch of drinks waiting to be made. So, not to make excuses, but I was stressed, it just slipped my mind, you know. Everybody makes mistakes. Now, I personally don't know what dragon fruit tastes like, but I can tell you this. With that drink particularly, without the lychee, it really just tastes like grainy water and dragon fruit. And I don't know. So we can probably guess what I forgot, right? Yeah, I forgot the damn lychee juice. So anyways, we end up getting a drive-through order, and they're not there to order. They're there to complain. So the couple who got their drinks actually came back through the drive-thru and ended up complaining about their drinks. Ugh, and to make matters worse, the person who ended up attending to the couple was my boss. So my boss turns around and she's holding two drinks and she's scanning the area. I'm avoiding eye contact and she starts asking around trying to figure out who made the drink. I feel like I'm in a prison lineup. My I have sweat dripping from the top of my forehead, down my back, in between my ass crack. I'm not trying to get a lecture in front of corporate, you know. I'm scared. And corporate has the least likelihood of making a mistake, you know? So it's most likely one of her kids, you know? Anyways, so she ends up catching me magenta handed and yeah, she whooped my ass and she killed me and she buried me alive again. But speaking of drive through, some icks I have about the people that come through there. What the fuck was that? When I open that window and I'm immediately hit with this aroma, like this stank, like smoke the devil's lettuce, live your life by all means, but why does your car and your person have to smell like some wacky tobacco? There's a difference between and cat piss. Like, oh my gosh, like the headaches I get. Ooh, I just be feeling nauseous, you know? Like, it's just funky. Like, why am I handing you your drinks in a hazmat suit with a gas mask and a pair of tongs? That's it. I really just ended the video there. I really appreciate past Ryan for not recording an outro. Bro really just stopped talking halfway in the middle of a rant. This is the outro now because I don't have anything scripted. I didn't write anything out for this part, but thank you for watching my first video. I don't know how to end this video, so thank you for watching.
And make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Follow me on my socials like my Insta, my Snapchat, my TikTok, and my Only.